Thorough level one, the foundation of real relationships. Level one is where I started. It's where a lot of us get stuck. It's about learning the basics, not just for others, but for yourself. What is level one? Level one is about building a strong, honest foundation. It's the training ground where you learn how to treat yourself and others with trust, learning to trust again after betrayal, honor, standing by your word even when no one's watching, unity, finding strength and togetherness instead of division, respect for yourself, your pain, your journey, and for others, loyalty, not blind loyalty, but true loyalty that's earned and returned. Yep, I'm back. I'm going to give this announcement and be off, though. It's going to be a short one today. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. What it feels like from my life. There was a time called when I was called names by people I loved, like cult leader Charles Manson. They didn't see that I was trying to heal. I was trying to understand how people work so we can better love, not hurt each other. That pain taught me that level one isn't just words, it's survival. It's learning how to build something real after everything around you feels fake. Real struggles that shaped level one. Trust. I opened my heart to people I loved and they threw labels at me. It made me question everything and even my own worth. But I had to choose either become bitter or learn to trust myself again and trust that my message would reach someone who needed it. Honor. I've said things I regret and I've stood by things that others didn't understand. Honor isn't about being perfect. It's about admitting your wrongs and still standing tall with purpose. Unity. My family turned away and yet I still wanted to unite with them. Why? Because unity matters more than ego. The world's already too divided. Thorough is my way of stitching the cracks. Respect. People don't have to agree with me, but I ask them to at least respect my growth. I put in the work. I've looked in the mirror. I've taken accountability. I respect myself now, and I want others to respect their own journeys too. Loyalty. People's People disappeared when I needed them most, but I stayed loyal to my vision. To those who stayed and even those who left, because loyalty isn't always about sticking around. It's about showing up with truth even when it hurts. While level one matters, you can't build the house on sand. You can't have love without trust. You can't change the world if you're still in a war with yourself. Level one is where the healing starts. If you don't learn to trust, honor, unity, respect, and loyalty at this stage, you'll repeat toxic patterns. Relationships break, friendships fall apart, families split. But when you master level one, you become the kind of person who can handle real love, real leadership, and real impact. I'm not trying to lead a cult. I'm not trying to help break people's cycles. Thorough is not religion. It's not politics. It's healing. It's self-mastery. It's learning how to be a better person even when the world tells you that you're not enough. If you've ever been broken, lost, misunderstood, level one is for you. Level one, trust, honor, unity, respect, and loyalty is where I started. It's where a lot of people get stuck. It's about learning the basics, not just for others, but for yourself. Level one is about building a strong, honest foundation and the training ground where you learn how to treat yourself and others with trust, honor, unity, respect, and loyalty. Trust is learning to trust again after betrayal. Honor is standing by your word even when no one's watching. Unity is finding strength and togetherness instead of division. Respect is yourself, your pain, your journey for others. Loyalty is not blind, loyalty is true. Loyalty that is earned and returned. I opened my heart to people I loved and they threw labels at me. It made me question everything and my own worth, but I had to choose either to become bitter or learn to trust myself again and trust that my message would reach someone who needed it. I said things I regret and I stood by them, things that others didn't understand. Honor isn't about being perfect, it's about admitting your wrongs and still standing tall with purpose. My family turned away, yet I still wanted to unite with them. Why? Because unity matters more than ego. The world is already too divided. Thurl is my way of stitching the cracks. People don't have to agree with me, but please respect me and my growth. I've put the work in. I looked in the mirror. I've taken accountability. I respect myself now, and I want others to respect their own journeys too. Loyalty. People disappeared when I needed them most. I stayed loyal to my vision, to those who stayed, and even those who left, because loyalty isn't always about sticking around. It's about showing up with truth, even when it hurts. You can build a house on sand. You can't have love without trust. You can't change the world if you're still at war with yourself. So here's the public message once again. If you don't learn from trust, honor, unity, respect, and loyalty at this stage, you'll repeat toxic patterns. Relationships then break. Friendships fall apart. Families split. But when you master level one, you become the kind of person who can handle real love, real leadership, and real impact. Here's the message to the public. I'm not trying to lead a cult. I'm not trying to help break cycles. Thurl is not a religion. It's not politics. It's healing. It's mastery. It's learning how to be a better person even when the world tells you you're not enough. If you've ever been broken, lost, misunderstood, level one is probably for you. I read that twice just because I wanted to let it sink into people and everything. Hey, everybody that's in here, I'm not letting people up right now. I'm just reading this off, and then I'm going to play a 20-minute audio of my girl for everybody. It's about love, mastering love, and I can't remember who it's from. I will announce that when I get it going. I'm kind of just still healing, guys, so I'm showing up, but I'm going to be checking out pretty soon. I just I gotta stay focused on many things right now, and one of them is definitely the ones I love close to me. We gotta quit thinking that we gotta run from our families, guys, just to find peace. We need to mend fences. We need to build and stop breaking. And love is not about running from people. Love is about sticking around. That's why I'm sticking around for all of you. I mean it. Like, that's what's up. I got a little TikTok script I can read to you guys really quick. It's pretty similar to what I just read, but I'll just go ahead and read that before I get the audio going. Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to anybody for not bringing up anyone on panels today. I'll get back to that too. But right on, right on, yeah. But yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you. I just got sponsored, I believe. So I hope it's legit. I'm looking into that, and I'm just really following what they told me to do today. And they said just to basically focus on level one for y'all and explain that to everybody. And so I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to add in that audio of my girl reading this because I think it will really help a lot of people understand a lot of where I'm coming from too, and just people could benefit from it. And yeah, I did. So I love y'all and respect to everybody. I'm going to read this quick and then I'll get the audio going. All right, so let me explain level one of Thurl. Since everybody seems to have an opinion, but very few ask me what it's really about. Level one, trust, honor, unity, respect, and loyalty. Sounds simple, right? But let me tell you, It ain't just some catchy acronym. This is where healing started. This is where real work begins. I've had people call me a cult leader, compare me to Charles Manson, people I loved, people I would have done anything for. That broke me, but it also taught me the truth. Trust had to be rebuilt from nothing. Honor, I had to admit my mistakes. Unity, I still want my family united even if they've turned away from me. Respect, I've learned it the hard way. Loyalty, I've stayed loyal to my mission even when no one would believe in me. And I'm all right with that because I believe in me. Level 1 isn't about being perfect. It's about breaking cycles and yourself and healing, learning how to treat others and yourself right. So no, it's not a cult. It's not a gimmick. It's real. If you've ever felt broken, lost, misunderstood, level 1 is where you should probably start. We could do it together. Yeah, it's Thrill's real. Thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate everybody. I'm not here for the gifts, but they're greatly appreciated because right now anything helps me. I'm just everybody's struggling, so I'll just say that much. We're all struggling here, so let's just keep rocking and moving forward, guys. We got no choice because often ourself that that's not an option. You don't do that. Otherwise, you come back and repeat it again and again and again until you get it right. So this book is from Don Miguel Ruiz, and it's called Mastery of Love. Yeah, I'm going to put this on and step out. I got to take care of my family, guys, but I hope you stick around and listen to some of it. If not, that's cool. I'll end the live. You don't have to send gifts because I'm not going to be able to thank you for them because I won't see the screen. So I appreciate you guys very much. And if you want to dig deeper into Thurl before I get moving on to my next live and videos, go ahead and check out the other videos I got on the profile. Some of them do explain Thurl in full, and I have 3 free courses online right now, or on the profile as well. They're on post. You can find them in there. One's on ground zero, one's on level 1, and one's on serious relationships. So love and respect, peace in the meadow. I appreciate you. I will try to make it in. Yeah, I will do that. And yeah, grateful. I appreciate you too. Thank you guys, all of you. I don't know if I can't see everybody here right now, but yeah, I'm going to get this started and I'm going to go feed my girl some brunch and we're going to hang out for a minute. And that's just, you got to balance it all, guys. I'll say that much with what I've been through. That's where I've made my mistakes is I forget to balance things with my family and loved ones. And I'm here for all of you just as much as I can be, and I have no expectations from anybody. I want to make that clear because the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations are the better days that I have. I got that from Ray Wiley Hubbard. But the book is Don Miguel Ruiz, and I'm going to start it now. I love and respect to all of you again. Thank you.
The way we dream, hell is a place of suffering, a place of fear, a place of war and violence, a place of judgment and no justice, a place of punishment that never ends. There are humans versus humans in a jungle of predators, humans full of judgment, full of blame, full of guilt, full of emotional poison. Envy, anger, hate, sadness, suffering. We create all these little demons in our mind because we have learned to dream hell in our own life. Dream hell in our own life. Each of us creates a personal dream for our own self, but the humans before us created a big outside dream, the dream of human society, the outside dream of, or the dream of the planet is the collective dream of billions of dreamers. The big dream includes all the rules of society, its laws, its religions, its different cultures, the way to be, talking to us at once. The Toltecs call this the mitote. The real us is pure love. We are life. The real us has nothing to do with the dream, but the mitote dream. But the mitote keeps us from seeing what we really are. When you see the dream from the perspective, and if you have the awareness of what you are, you see the nonsense behavior of humans, and it becomes music. What for everyone else is a big drama, for you becomes a comedy. You can see humans suffering over something that is not important, that is not even real, but we have no choice. We are born in this society, we grow up in this society, and we learn to be everyone else, playing nonsense all the time, competing with mere nonsense. Imagine that you could visit a planet where everyone has a different kind of emotional mind. The way they relate to each other is always in happiness, always in love, always in peace. Now imagine that one day you woke on this planet and you no longer have wounds in your emotional body. You are no longer afraid to be who you are. Whatever someone says about you, whatever they do, whatever they do, you don't take it personally, and it doesn't hurt anyone. You no longer need to protect yourself. You are not afraid to love, to share, to open your heart, but no one else is like you. How can you relate with people who are emotionally wounded and sick with fear? When a human is born, the emotional mind, the emotional body is completely healthy. Maybe around 3 or 4 years of age, the first wound in the emotional body starts to appear and gets infected with emotional poison. But if you observe children who are 2 or 3 years old, if you see how they behave, they are playing all the time. You see them laughing all the time. Their imagination is so powerful that the way they dream is an adventure of exploration. When something is wrong, they react and defend themselves, but they let go and turn their attention to the moment again, to play again, to explore, to have fun again. They are living in that moment. They are not ashamed of the past. They are not worried about the future. Little children express what they feel, and they are not afraid to love. The happiest moment in her life is when we are playing just like children, when we are singing and dancing, when we are exploring and creating just for fun. It is wonderful when we behave like a child because this is normal human mind, the normal human tendency. As children, we are innocent and it is natural for us to express love. But what happens to us? What happened to the whole world? What has happened is when we are children, the adults already have their mental disease. They are highly contagious. How do they pass this disease to us? They hook our attention. They teach us to be like them. That is how we pass our disease to our children. And that is how our parents, our teachers, our older siblings, the whole society of sick people infected us with that disease. They hook our attention and put information into our mind through repetition. This is the way we learn, the way we program a human mind. The problem is the information we have stored in our mind. By hooking the attention, we teach children a language, how to read, how to behave, how to dream. We domesticate humans the same way we domesticate a dog or any other animal, with punishment and reward. This is perfectly normal. What we call education is nothing but the domestication of the human being. We are afraid to be punished, but later we are also afraid of not getting the reward, of not being good enough for mom and dad, sibling to teacher. They need to be accepted. They need to be accepted as born. Before that, we don't care whether we are accepted or not. People's opinions are not important. They are not important because we just want to play and we live in the present. The fear of not getting the reward becomes the fear of rejection. The fear of not being good enough for someone else is what makes us try to change, what makes us create an image. Then we try to project that image according to what they want us to be, just to be accepted, just to have the reward. We learn to pretend to be what we are not. In the practice, trying to be someone else. And we practice trying to be someone else just to be good enough for mom and dad, for the teacher, for our religion, for whatever. We practice and we master how to be what we are not. Soon we forget who we really are, and we start to live our images. We create not just one image, but many different images according to the different groups of people we associate with. We create an image at home, an image at school, and when we grow up, we create even more images. This is also true for a simple relationship between a man and a woman. The woman has an outer image that she tries to project to others, but when she is alone, she has another image of herself. The man also has one outer image and an inner image. By the time they are adults, the inner image and the outer image are so different that they hardly match anymore. In the relationship between a man and a woman, there are 4 images at least. How can they really know each other? They don't. They can only try to understand the image, but there are more images to consider. When a man meets a woman, he makes an image of her from his point of view, and the woman makes an image of a man from her point of view. Then she tries to make her fit the image he makes for her, and she tries to make him fit the image she makes for him. Now there are 6 images between them. Of course, they are lying to each other, even if they don't know they are lying. The relationship is based on fear. It is based on lies. It is not based on truth because they cannot see through all that fog. In that period when we are little children, there is no conflict with the image we pretend to be. Our images are not really challenged until we begin to interact with the outside world and no longer have our parents' protection. This is why being a teenager is particularly difficult. Even if we are prepared to support and defend our image, as soon as we try to project our image to the outside world fights back. The outside world starts proving to us, not just privately, but publicly, that we are not what we pretend to be. Let's take an example of a teenage boy who pretends to be very intelligent. He goes to a debate at school, and in that debate, someone who is more intelligent and more prepared wins the debate and makes him look ridiculous in front of everyone. He will try to explain and excuse and justify his image in front of his peers. He will be so kind to everyone and will try to save his image in front of them. But he knows he is lying. Of course, he tries his best not to break in front of his peers. But as soon as he is alone, he sees himself in the mirror. He goes and breaks the mirror. He hates himself. He feels that he is stupid, that he is the worst. There is a big discrepancy between the inner image and the image he tries to project to the outside world. The bigger discrepancy, the more difficult the adaptation to the society dream, and less love he will have for himself. Between the image he pretends to be and the inner image when he is alone are lies and more lies. Both images are completely out of touch with reality. They are false, but he doesn't see that. Maybe someone else can see that, but he is completely blind. His denial system tries to protect the wounds, but the wounds are real, and he is hurting because he is trying so hard to defend an image. When we are children, we learn that everyone's opinions are important, and we rule our lives according to those opinions. A simple opinion from someone can put us deeper into hell. An opinion that is not even true. You look ugly, you are wrong, you are stupid. Opinions have a lot of power over the nonsense behavior of people who live in hell. That is why we need to hear that we are good, that we are doing well, that we are beautiful. How do I look? How was that? How was what I said? How am I doing? We need to hear the opinions of others because we are domesticated and we can be manipulated by those opinions. That is why we seek recognition from other people. We need emotional support from other people. We need to be accepted by the outside dream via other people. This is why teenagers drink alcohol, take drugs, or start smoking. It is just to be accepted by other people who have all those opinions. It's just to be considered cool. So many humans are suffering because of all the false images we try to project. Humans pretend to be something very important. At the same time, we believe we are nothing. We work so hard to be someone in that society dream, to be recognized and approved by others. We try so hard to be important, to be winners. to be a winner, to be powerful, to be rich, to be famous, to express our personal dreams, and to impose our dream onto other people around us. Why? Because humans believe the dream is real and we take it very seriously. Okay? I'm going to finish this whole book tonight. Humans by nature are very sensitive beings. Oh, this is called the loss of innocence. We are so emotional because we perceive everything with the emotional body. The emotional body is like a radio that we can humans by nature are very sensitive beings. We are so emotional because we perceive everything with the emotional body. The emotional body is like a radio that can be turned to perspective, perceive certain frequencies, or to react to certain frequencies. The normal frequencies of humans before domestication is to explore and to enjoy life. We are turned to love as children. We don't have any definition of love as an abstract concept. We just live love. It's the same. It's the way we are. The emotional body has a component like an alarm system to let us know when something is wrong. It is the same with the physical body. It has an alarm system to let us know something is wrong with our body. We call this pain. When we feel pain, it is because there's something wrong with the body that we have to look at and fix. The alarm system for the emotional body is fear. When we feel fear, it's because there's something wrong. Perhaps we are in danger of losing our life. The emotional body perceives emotions, but not through the eyes. We perceive emotions through our emotional body. Children can feel emotions that their reasoning minds doesn't interpret or question them. This is why children accept certain people and reject other people. When they don't feel confident around someone, they reject that person because they can feel the emotions that person is projecting. Children can easily perceive when someone is angry, and their alarm system generates a little fear that says stay away, and they follow their instinct. They stay away. We learn to be emotional according to the emotional energies in our home and our personal reaction to that energy. That is why every brother and sister will react differently according to how they learn to defend themselves and adapt to different circumstances. When our parents are constantly fighting, when there is disharmony, disrespect, and lies, we learn the emotional way of being like them. Even if they tell us not to be that way, not to lie, the emotional energy of our parents, of our entire family, will make us perceive the world in a similar way. The emotional energy that lives in our home is going to tune our emotional body to that frequency. The emotional body starts to change its tune, and it is no longer the normal tune of the human being. We play the game of the adults. We play the game of the outside dream, and we lose. We lose our innocence, we lose our freedom, we lose our happiness, and we lose our tendency to love. We are forced to change, and we start perceiving another world, another reality, the reality of injustice, the reality of emotional pain, the reality of emotional poison. Welcome to hell, the hell that humans create, which is the dream of the planet. We are welcomed into that hell, but we don't invent it personally. It was here before we were born. You can see how real love and freedom are destroyed by looking at children. Imagine a child 2 or 3 years of age running and having fun in the park. Mom is there watching the little guy, and she's afraid he might fall and hurt himself. At a certain point, she wants to stop him, and the child thinks mom is playing with him, so she tries to run faster from her. Cars are passing on a street nearby, which makes mom even more afraid. And finally, she catches him. The child is expecting her to play, but she spanks him. Boom! It's a shock. The child's happiness was the expression of love coming out of him, and he does not understand why she is acting this way. This is the shock that stops love little by little over time. The child does not understand words, but even so, He questions why. Running and playing is an expression of love, but it's no longer safe because your parents punish you when you express your love. They send you to your room and you cannot do what you want to do. They tell you that you are being a bad boy or bad girl, and that puts you down. That means punishment. In that system of reward, punishment, there is a sense of justice and injustice. What is fair and what is not fair. The sense of injustice is like a knife that opens an emotional wound in the mind. Then, according to our reaction to the injustice, the wound may get infected with emotional poison. Why do some wounds get infected? Let's look at another example. Imagine that you are 2 or 3 years old. You're happy, you're playing, you are exploring. You aren't conscious of what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing because you are not yet domesticated. You're playing in the living room with whatever is around you. You don't have any bad intentions. You don't try to hurt anything, but you are playing with your daddy's guitar. For you, it's just a toy. You don't try to hurt your daddy at all, but your father is having one of those days when he doesn't feel right. He has problems in his business and he goes into the living room and finds you playing with his things. He gets mad right away. He grabs you and spanks you. This is injustice from your point of view. Your father just comes and with anger he hurts you. This was someone you trusted completely because he is your daddy. Someone who usually protects you and allows you to play and allows you to be you. Now there's something that doesn't quite fit. That sense of injustice is like pain in your heart. You feel sensitive, it hurts and makes you cry, but you cry not just because he spanks you. It's not the physical aggression that hurts you, it's the emotional aggression you feel is not fair. You didn't do anything. That sense of injustice opens a wound in your mind. Your emotional body is wounded, and in that moment, you lose a little part of your innocence. You learn that you cannot always trust your father, even if your mind doesn't know that yet, because your mind doesn't analyze it. It still understands. I cannot trust. Your emotional body tells you there is something that you cannot trust, and that something can be repeated. Your reaction might be fear. Your reaction might be anger, or being shy, or just crying. But that reaction is already emotional poison because the normal reaction before domestication is your daddy spanks you and you want to hit him back. You hit him back or just intend to put your hand up, and that makes your father even madder at you. That reaction of your father for just putting your hand up against him creates a worse punishment. Now you know he will destroy you. Now you are afraid of him. You no longer defend yourself because you know it will only make things worse. You still don't understand why, but you know your father can even kill you. This opens a fierce wound in your mind. Before this, your mind was completely healthy. You were completely innocent. After this, the resonating mind tries to do something with the experience. You learn to react in a certain way, your personal way. You keep that emotion with you, and it changes your way of life. This experience will repeat itself more often now. The injustice will come from mom and dad, from brothers and sisters, from aunts and uncles, from the school, from society, from everyone. With each fear, you learn to defend yourself, but not the way you did before. Domestication. When you would defend yourself and just keep playing, now there is something inside of the wound that at first is not a big problem, emotional poison. Emotional poison accumulates and in the mind begins to play with that poison. Now we start to worry a little about our future because we have the memory of poison and we don't want that to happen again. We also have memories of being accepted. We remember mom and dad being good to us and living in harmony. We want the harmony, but we don't know how to create it. And because we are inside the bubble of our own perception, whatever happens around us now seems as if it becomes of us. We believe mom and dad fight because of us, even if it doesn't have anything to do with us. Little by little, we lose our innocence. We start to feel resentment, then we no longer forgive. Over time, these incidents and interactions let us know it's not safe to be who we really are. Of course, this will vary in intensity with each human according to his intelligence and his education. It will depend on many things. If you are lucky, the domestication is not that strong. But if you are not so lucky, the domestication can be so strong and the wound so deep that you can even be afraid to speak. The result is, oh, I am shy. Shyness is the fear of expressing yourself. You may believe you don't know how to dance or how to sing, but this is just repression of the normal human instinct to express love. Humans use fear to domesticate humans, and our fear increases with each expression of experience of injustice. The sense of injustice is the knife that opens a wound in our emotional body. Emotional poison is created by a reaction to what we consider injustice. Some wounds will heal, others will become infected with more and more poison. Once we are full of emotional poison, we have the need to release it, and we practice releasing the poison by sending it to someone else. How do we do this? By hooking that person's attention. Let's make an example of an ordinary couple. For whatever reason, the wife is mad. She has a lot of emotional poison from the injustice that comes from her husband. The husband is not home, but she remembers that injustice and the poison is growing inside. When the husband comes home, the first thing she wants to do is hook his attention, because once he hooks his attention, all the poison can go to her husband and she can feel the relief. As soon as she tells him how bad he is, how stupid or how unfair he is, that poison she has inside her is transferred to the husband. She keeps talking and talking until she gets his attention. The husband finally reacts and gets mad, and she feels better. But now that poison is going through him, and he has to get even. He has to hook her attention and release the poison. But it's not just her poison. It's her poison plus his poison. If you look at his interaction, you will see that they are touching each other's wounds and playing ping pong with emotional poison. The poison keeps growing and growing until someday one of them is going to explode. This is often how humans relate to each other. By hooking the attention, the energy goes from one person to another person. The attention is something very powerful in the human mind. Everyone around the world is hunting the attention of others all the time. When we capture the attention, we create channels of communication. The germ is transferred, power is transferred, but emotional poison is transportable too. Usually the release of the poison with the person we think is responsible for the injustice, but that person is so powerful that we cannot send it to him. We don't care who we send it to. We send it to the little ones who have no defense against us. And that is how abusive relationships are formed. The people of power abuse people who have less power because they need it to release their emotional poison. We have the need to release the poison, and sometimes we don't want justice. We just want to release. We want peace. That is why humans are hunting power all the time, because the more powerful we are, the easier it is to release the poison to the ones who cannot defend themselves. Of course, we're talking about relationships in hell. We are talking about the mental disease that exists on this planet. There is no one to blame for this disease. It is not good or bad or right or wrong. It is simply the normal pathology of this disease. No one is guilty for being abusive, just as people on that imaginary planet are not guilty because their skin is sick. You are not guilty because you have wounds infected with poison. When you are physically sick or injured, you don't blame yourself or feel guilty. Then why feel bad or feel guilty because your emotional body is sick? What is important is to have the awareness that we have this problem. If we have the awareness, we have the opportunity to heal our emotional body, our emotional mind, and stop the suffering. Without the awareness, there is nothing we can do. The only thing we can do is to keep suffering from the interactions with other humans, but not just with other humans. the interaction with our own self, because we also touch our own wounds just to be punished. Wow!
Will you please explain the 3 levels of Thrill to me in full, and the importance of it, please, in a brief description? Thank you.
Absolutely. Here's a clear and powerful breakdown of all 3 levels of Thurl in your voice, with the purpose behind each one. Thurl, 3 levels to heal and build real human connection. Level 1, trust, honor, unity, respect, loyalty. This is the foundation. It teaches you how to treat yourself and others the right way. Without this level, relationships break, families fall apart, and personal growth gets stuck. This level is where the healing starts. From trauma, betrayal, confusion. It's where you learn who you are and how to stand solid. Level 2, truth, honesty, understanding, responsibility, love. This level is deeper. Once you've built your base, you're ready for real connection. This is about intimate relationships, serious friendships, and even leadership. You learn how to tell the truth, take responsibility for your actions, and give real love. Not the toxic kind, but the kind that lasts. Level 3, human understanding, reasoning, logic. This is the visionary level. Once you've mastered your emotions and relationships, you're ready to help the world. This level is about creating solutions, building systems, solving conflict, and using wisdom and logic to bring people together on a larger scale. Community, nation, even global healing. Why it matters. Thurl is not just philosophy. It's a blueprint for human evolution, from healing your past to loving better to solving big problems together. It's personal, it's relational, and it's global. It's how we stop cycles of pain and start building something that actually works. Want to turn that into a voiceover or video next?
No, that's all I needed. I just wanted to play that for my guest here today. And everybody, I'm glad you're here today. I appreciate it. I love your support, and I love and respect all of you. I'm going to head out here for today, and I'll probably be back on tomorrow with level 2 explanation, public explanation. So thank you all for being here. Take care.